Hi, and welcome back to That's So Nova. Today I am going to be talking about and showing you a little, not arts and crafts. It is still sewing involved if you wish. I got a book. I purchased a book called Create Your Cork Fabric from Jessica Sallie Kapitansky, Sallie Tomato. And this book has tons of different patterns that I haven't seen. And I love cork as a fabric. Most cork is harvested in Portugal or Spain or Italy, and it's a sustainable. It's like think of it as the vegan leather. It's water resistant. It doesn't mold, and it sews through domestic machines like butter. It's one of my favorite materials to work with. It is expensive. Now the weird thing about cork is how it comes. It can come by like 18 by 56 or 36 by 56, and then you use it and you'll have scrap pieces and you're like, I don't want to throw this away because this cork cost me an arm and a leg and I don't know what to do with the scraps. Well, Sallie Tomatoes has she has a couple of cool patterns in here. She, like, in the back of the book, you can see that she has like beautiful wall art that is made with cork fabric scraps. She has this pattern that is basically I want to say leftovers of cork to make a fall or summer or winter or a spring wreath, or just because a birthday wreath or a Christmas wreath, whatever it may be, a Hanukkah wreath. That would be dope because there's a lot of blues and like frosty colors, or an Elsa and Anna wreath. Like you can make whatever wreath you want. I had some leftover cork from Cork, and I did a Lucy on it, and it was like a bright candy red. And then I also had a tan and polka dot, and I was like, this will be an awesome wreath because I am a sucker for polka dots. Yes, you heard me. Your girl, I love polka dots. Like, I will wear polka dots all day long. There's just something about them that I'm drawn to them. They're like classy with a twist. They stand out, but they somehow, I don't know, it's subtle and chic and lush. I just love polka dots. So I was like, I'm gonna make this. The in this pattern, the book in the back of the book has like pattern leaves for like your small and your large leaves. And she gives instructions on how to make leaves where you take a large piece of cork and you take a large leaf that you cut from cork and a small leaf that you cut from cork, and you can sew around the edges 1/8 of an inch to keep them together, or you can create veins. So I did that, and I used bright neon green on the back so you can see I made veins on the bigger ones, and then you have smaller pieces of cork to put around the wreath, so that way you can have different colors and different dimensions. So right now what I'm going to show you is how to sew. I'm going to sew 2 veins on this. It's kind of like quilting. I put a little double-sided tape 1/8 of an inch down the middle of the smaller one. I'm trying to peel it off. 1/8 of an inch on the smaller one, and I drew the veins like how I would want them with a tandy leather wipeable pen. You don't have to create the leaves that way. You can go around 1/8 of an inch and maybe use a fabric marker and create your leaves out, your stems and veins that way. If you don't want to do any stems and veins, you don't have to do that either, because the cork itself is just naturally beautiful. This just gives it like a little extra oomph. So what I'm using right now is my Bernina 1008. Now, I know you see me all the time on a Juki. My baby downstairs is the Juki 5550. I use that on everything. But my kids, I have 3 kids. My 2 younger kids do schooling online, and during the day, I use this bad boy for 8 hours a day. It helps me create dresses, linings, and bags. And most of the bags that you see, if I'm not sewing them live, I usually sew it on this. The 1008 Bernina is amazing. It has like beautiful stitching. It's all metal. This bad boy is heavy. It is one of my favorite machines to use because it has a zigzag. You can create middle. You can do a like left, center, or middle. You can move the needle. It's just something I need to do. I do love vintage machines because I feel like they are all metal and they just last longer, and you can learn how to do the maintenance on them yourself without having a motherboard. So I'm using a number 1 foot on my Bernina machine. I'm using, again, red cork and polka dot, and with this, I'm using red thread. On the other leaves, I used brown because it was whatever I had in my my machine at the time. When I use my Bernina, it's very similar to my industrial machines. I either hold the tails or I start with the needle down, and I go from there. This does not have an automatic thread cutter. It does not stop in the needle down position. It is just all hand. You just got to go for it. So I'm going to increase my stitch length to a 2.5 because it was on a 2 because I was making pockets, zipper pockets. Whenever I make zipper pockets, I use a 2 stitch length on a domestic. And I'm going to back stitch. I'm basically going to go back and forth and create the leaves, the stems of the leaves. Okay, so I feel like this project would be really good if you want to start quilting and you're like, or just getting used to your machine. I'm just back stitching like at an angle for the V and then going forward and going down with the stem. And before I finish, I back stitch. So like my stitching is not perfect, but I don't think veins of the leaves are perfect. So I like the beauty of the chaos. So this is the back. So you see on the plain cork how I did the veins. And this is how it looks on the leaf. And I like it. I'm going to use one more and then we'll get to the hot gluing part. I like hot glue minus the fact that I always burn myself. Like, always. In fact, I burn myself, or like, I don't know, me and hot glue don't work. And I promise you I'm going to get to a glue video because I love glue. Also, because if your machine is like, hey, I don't like double-sided tape, glue might be your friend. So I use my back stitch a lot on this. You don't have to. You can literally stop at a vein, make sure you're at a needle down, and then just reverse it and do what you feel is comfortable. I just use my back stitch because I feel like it's faster, not necessarily it's. And again, you don't have. You can go just around, and you don't have to do everything I'm doing. I'm just extra, like my daughters say. I think little details can make the whole entire project. See, it's just like red vines. You can see the red vines on this side. Cut down your tails. And I'm going to move this over and move this. This is an old cutting mat. I have a tendency of not letting go of things because you can reuse it on something. I even tell my son to, when he's doing his arts and craft projects when he's doing his art, it's plugged in. Where's it plugged in at? This is not the magic, okay? Okay. The Bernina foot on that is like super expensive if you mess it up. So what I'm doing is you can put this arrangement however you want, kind of like flowers. I'm trying to give it a circular, going around in a circle. So I'm just going to put some glue. When I hot glue, I like to put glues on several pieces at once. Most glues need to cure or get a little tacky so it can really stick. Let me grab this other main piece, and I'm just putting a blob down the center, not the first half because they're going to stick out. So I grab one and I'm just kind of fanning it out, and I'm holding it. Some more glue on that. And just hold it down for a couple of seconds. I know it's not ideal to hold it down, but it gives you better control. And this is what I'm talking. I think my fingers started getting resistant to the glue. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if I have fingerprints. So you see how I have this? I'm going to stick some polka dots and some dash of red throughout the whole thing. And I have veins on the smaller leaves too, because again, I just like the little details. What do they say? Like the devil's in the details. I want the pops of red not to be like the main layer. I want the polka dots because again, I love polka dots, but I want them to pop out in the red to pop out in some areas, just to give some contrast to the eye. And just have fun with this. This is a wreath, people are going to look at it and be like, ooh, this is interesting. Again, I kind of want to do all blue. Blue is my favorite color, so I do gravitate to red though. And just take one or two colors that are in the palette, and just place it together. It's kind of like a floral arrangement when you look at it, or to like some people it could be like a puzzle. And I'm just tucking it behind some of the red pieces behind other polka dot ones, so you just pop out. And you're just taking your time, or if your hot glue is like mine that doesn't have like temperature gate and it doesn't slowly dispense, you might need to move faster. I have one that has like a high and low, but the temperature to me just doesn't change. The one thing I can definitely tell you about glue, you need to let it cure. I think a lot of people don't like glue because they think, hey, it's not sticking right away. You have to let it cure. It's going to be worth the wait. I promise you. The end results always are gratifying. Okay. We're in the home stretch now. And you just kind of just place it. The bigger ones, of course, go to the back, and then go from there. And I'm using a twig wreath. The pattern has a certain size. I'm using a size 10 because I thought I wanted a real full wreath. Because I'm using, like, to me, these are fall colors, and we're still in fall until the 21st. So I was like, oh, this would be pretty in my room. And, like, the cork's being used, the scraps are not going into the scrap bin, and you're like, I don't know what to do with it. I do like this cork fabric book. I really like books because if you're in the bag making world or you're in the sewing world, sometimes you can see repetitive patterns over and over again. And it's nice to get a book because the patterns aren't PDF. I know this sounds weird. I love PDF patterns because you can reprint them over and over again, right? If you mess up a piece or whatever. But there's something really, I don't want to say vintage, but classic about getting a pattern that is not PDF and that's in a book, and you're learning skills and getting pictures from a book, and all the pattern pieces are on the back. Because when you present that thing, that pattern or the bag, like this tote, people are going to be like, where did you get this? And did it all comes from a book. And I just think that's amazing. And this is the last piece. So you unplug your iron, you're not iron, your your hot glue, and you're gonna be done. So the important part to this is not to mess around with it. Just let it cure for 24 hours or 12 hours, and then you'll be able to hang it up. And you have this really pretty wreath from fabric that you left behind. And this would be an awesome gift to give someone during the holidays. Just because you're a friend, you're a neighbor, or just because, like, hey mom, I made you this for Mother's Day, or hey dad, I made you this for Father's Day, or I made you this just because I was thinking about you. It's relatively inexpensive. It's dealing with your scraps, and you can really have fun with this. And you can definitely use other than cork, like you can use leather or probably vinyl. I think with the cork, it looks nice because it is a natural fabric. It's not man-made. It's not like vinyl or faux leather, which is made with plastic and whatnot. This is nature, so it has like this beautiful edge to it that looks phenomenal. And there's many things you can do to this. If you wanted to, you could have edge paint all the red so it could pop out more. You can do it with another red, or you can do it with the black so they could look like there's shadows in there. You can use a fabric marker. Do not use a permanent marker, but you can use a fabric marker and draw the veins. If you use a permanent marker, if it gets wet, there's a chance that it can bleed and run through the whole fabric, and it will be a disaster. But a fabric marker is meant to be permanent, and it'll stay and it won't bleed through. So this is the wreath. The book is Create Cork with Fabric. Sorry, Create Cork with Fabric. Yeah, I was right. Okay. And it's from Sallie Tomato. This book has a lot of projects, like from backpacks to tote bags to there's a really cute basket in here. It's like you weave the cork, and I never even would have thought about weaving a cork basket. I'm trying to see if I can get to it. You know how like when you're looking for something, then it just, there's applique. She even has making a belt out of cork. That's pretty dang cool. Pouches, how to make necklaces, how to make tassels and accessories to put on your jacket. So like, I like this book because I have a lot of scrap fabric from that's cork or faux leather or leather, and it gave me so many different ideas that I never even thought of to use those scraps and put them to use. So you're not wasting money, and it becomes, I cannot find this thing. You use it. Let me go to the table of contents. You can use it like there's even like a quilt and like cozies. There's so many different things that are in this book. Let me see if I can show you this real quick. If I can. You know what? It's the next project after you make the wreath. Yeah. It's a woven storage basket. So the lower part is the cork and the fabric is inside. And I just think that's an amazing project because I never even would have thought of that. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention and have some fun today and give you an idea maybe that you can use for this holiday season, or just, like I said, just because. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If you would like to see other projects from this book, let me know. And I will put the link to the book in the description, and the link does have an affiliate link to me. So if you do buy a pattern or a book, a little bit of the portions go to me. So it's like one way to support your girl, other than liking, subscribing, and commenting, and share if you think this is a great video. I appreciate all your time. Until the next time I see you, have a really good day. Bye.